Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Facebook. Welcome to the Coach's Corner. Happy Tuesday to everyone on Facebook. I hope you're staying warm and dry and safe. Believe it or not, it snowed yesterday in North Carolina. It snowed at my house from like 9 to 4. So I'm just ready for warm weather, ready for springtime. But I'm glad to be here. I hope y'all are staying warm wherever you are, okay? So I want to go ahead and get started. Hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank y'all for joining in. If you're live and if you're watching the replay, just comment, let me know you watched the replay. But I do want to go ahead and get started. I have a few things to share with you on this Tuesday, okay? So I want to talk today just for a few minutes about some slang, okay? I know growing up you had your type of slang that you used, but today's slang is very different than probably when I was growing up and when my viewers, when y'all were growing up. But I have a few words I want to teach you on today, okay, so that you can be hip or cool when you're around teenagers. So the first thing I want to talk about, I know that if you have teenagers, you want them to help you around the house, whether it's with cooking, cleaning, yard work, that sort of thing. You want them to help you around the house. And so they might say some things or use some words that might make you think they're going to help you around the house, but that's probably not what they're talking about, okay? So the first word is beef. And if your teenager is talking about having beef with someone, they're not talking about going to eat hamburgers with this person. They're talking about having a conflict, an issue, or disagreement with this person, and they're probably going to try to fight them, okay? So if you hear your teenager talking about having beef, they're not talking about making meatloaf for you or anything like that. Beef is something negative, okay? When a teenager says they have beef, then you want to watch out. You want to be aware. The second thing related to the kitchen, I would say, is goat, okay? And goat is not a negative slang term, but it took me a while to understand what these teenagers were talking about when they kept saying goat. Goat, the G-O-A-T, means the greatest of all time. And I had a teenager tell me before that I was the goat. Like I was a really good teacher, I was the goat. So the greatest of all time. So you want to be the goat parent, right? That slang is not bad. They normally use it when they're talking about sports, talking about LeBron versus Kobe, who's the greatest, who's the GOAT. So GOAT, they're not talking about cooking any goats or milking any goats or helping you on the farm. They're talking about who's the greatest, right? So the other term that's related to the kitchen is greens. Now, a few years ago, they used to say collard greens when they text, but that's too long. Things get abbreviated. So now they'll just say greens, but they're not talking about collard greens and eating their vegetables like we want them to. They're talking about marijuana, okay? And I have some more. I think I have another term for marijuana for you in just a minute, but there's a lot. So you want to be mindful of these things. You hope they help you in the kitchen, but that's probably not what they're talking about doing, right? Now, even when you think about helping you around the house or with yard work, I recently learned about something these teenagers say called rake it up. Rake it up, okay? There's a song by Yo Gotti. If you don't know who he is, your teenager probably does. And it says rake it up. And it has a very catchy beat and a cute little dance they've made up to go with it. But that song is not talking about helping your mom and dad in the yard raking up leaves. It is talking about a stripper who gets money thrown at her, and then when she's finished dancing, she rakes up the money as if it was leaves. And so even at school, sometimes I teach high school part-time, I see girls doing things for money that they shouldn't, and legally it's called prostitution, but they don't call it that or they don't think of it as that. And so even these songs they listen to, like I've talked a million times before, are encouraging them to do things for money and rake it up. And of course, the second meaning would be related to drugs, okay? Selling drugs would be included in that same slang message. So something to be mindful of. Don't get excited if your teen talks about raking it up. They're not going to help you in the yard. They're talking about something highly inappropriate that they shouldn't be doing, okay? The other term is packing, and this has two different meanings, okay? The first meaning can be sexual. Normally, teenage boys talk about packing to describe their private area, genitals, whatever, and trying to entice teenage girls to do something sexual with them. So they say they're packing, okay? So if you're not getting ready to go to Disney World or you're not going on family vacation, they're talking about packing on the phone, you need to listen a little closer. The other thing with packing is very important in light of what's been going on here in the United States recently, but packing can also mean that they're carrying a weapon or a gun, okay? I watch Tyler Perry movies. I love Medea, and if you watch Medea, you know she's always packing. Okay, so packing means either something sexual for a boy, or it can mean carrying a gun or a weapon. So you want to listen in if you hear your teenager talking about that, and you know you don't have a family trip or vacation plan, right? Now, the last two words I want to talk about can be positive, okay? So not everything. Hey, Renetta, Ariana, Katisha, hey, y'all, hey, Thomas. The last two words are not negative, but the next word is called lit, okay? So if your teenager says, that class was so lit, that party was so lit, or Coach Brittany is so lit, that can be a good thing. It means it was really good or it was really cool, okay? But the second meaning for lit can mean I was so lit last night, I don't even know what happened. It means they were drunk or high, okay? So don't get on to them just because they say they were lit or something was lit, because it could be something really, really good. Or don't just let it slide and ignore their conversation if they're telling their friends about something that was lit or they were lit, because it may be something inappropriate that you need to address. So just listen to what they're saying. The last word is woke. And that's what I want all y'all parents to be. And y'all is slang for you all. Okay? All of y'all parents should be woke. Woke means alert, you're cognizant of what's going on. And it's normally related to some social justice issues. If you're woke, then you're aware of what's going on in the political realm, things like that. And so I want you as parents to be alert, be aware, know what's going on, know what these things mean, know what they're talking about, stay woke so that you can possibly save their lives or, interfere with something that's going to happen that shouldn't. Okay, so that's just a quick little rundown. Beef is not a good thing. Goat is a good thing. Greens, they're probably not going to eat their vegetables at this age, but hopefully they will. But if they're talking about greens, it's probably something illegal. So just all this kind of stuff you should know as a parent when you're listening to your teenager talk, or even if you see them texting, that sort of thing, okay? Now, I do want to remind everyone who is watching live, and if you're watching the replay, just let me know you watched the replay. But I am hosting a parent workshop on March 24th, and this will be in North Carolina, Winston-Salem, at the Hawthorne Inn and Conference Center from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Now, at this workshop, I will discuss a segment called colloquial confusion, okay? And I'll talk about not just the slang that these teenagers are using, but different trends that are going on and different challenges, different things that they're doing that are not really safe or may be dangerous, so that you can be aware and be proactive to know what's going on. Also, at this workshop, I'll deal with actively listening. So it's not just listening when they're talking to you, but being attuned when they don't say anything, or listening to them when they're talking to their friends or things like that. So I'll have a whole segment on listening and how you can listen to your teenager even without talking, or even without them talking to you verbally. And then I have a lot of other information to share as well. We'll have food and we'll have door prizes. It's going to be a great time. So that is March 24th in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And I will post ticket information here on the page in just a little bit, okay? So I hope y'all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Stay warm, stay woke, and just let me know if there's anything else I can help you with. Feel free to inbox me here on my Facebook page, okay? So thank y'all for joining me so much. Until next time, I'll see you back here next Tuesday, 4 p.m. Eastern in the Coach's Corner. See you later.